In this series of tutorials, you can see tools for working in 3D modeling environment based on how they are being used. If some of these tools are not explained, it's because it was done in previous tutorials. However, a link will be posted. The original Coca-Cola bottle is very special, and I wanted to draw it standing out its form. For this purpose, I've got a template from the internet. Okay, starting in 3D modeling, we go to Start and Layer 0. Draw a 20-unit vertical line. Double-click the mouse scroll wheel to center. Use the Insert Link tool to import the template. This is to match as much as possible with the vertical line, in case we are asked to refine the figure. In Vista, lower the opacity so the auxiliary line will be visible. For easy movement of the staff. Note that the one we want to use is the center. With the Scale tool, we can reduce or enlarge as needed. The idea is to position it in such a way that the vertical passes through its center. This is done in case they ask for measurements in centimeters, but really is not necessary. Note that to select the template you must click on one of its edges. To move it, we can use the Coordinate Device or Move tool. The template has remained at the layer 0. We need to create a layer for the guides. Select these guides and transfer them to that layer. With the Line tool, trace all those parallels. We can get help by using the command Ortho or F8 key to draw straight lines. We are not concerned about measurements now. Instead, let's keep the proportions of the workforce and use your own criteria. It would be very different if we were modeling an engine part or a building blueprint. Don't forget that with the right mouse button, we can repeat the last command. I left the sound of the mouse button so you can hear when I click. I want the top false starting from here. And the lower ends here. Let's splice this part. Here we define a 3-point arc. Now this arc is also 3 points. Let's copy this section and I explain why later. Let's create an arc with start and an angle of the arc tool and press the Control key to close this part. Here, let's close it with a 3-point arc. Here the same. Start, end, and angle to close. Same here. Don't forget to press the Control key. Now let's create an axis layer and move on to it. These axes are part of the pleats and define the axis of rotation or revolution of each fold. They were calculated at 1/3 of the central axis. Do your test because there is no action and every taste is different. With the cut tool, cut this part. Copy well ahead this arc. I've done it incorrectly before, because with the help of this line we must cut exactly so nothing will be left. Let's clean and move and put on its place. If we select the arc, we'll see that it's divided in two. This line will be the first top fold axis. And this other one will be the first bottom fold. We turn off this layer to see how our guide looks like. Note more artistic outline than what a bottle is. This is the intent here. Create a new layer and move on to it. Click here to go to the isometric view or perspective. We select this part and let's make it 360 degrees revolution, indicating the axis guide points. If we move to rear view, the effect is better noticed. Now let's go back to wireless view for the next revolution. I could have done it in one step. I know you're thinking about that. Create another layer and move on to it. We turn off the prior one to make the next revolution. Let's select and group. We do a revolution with the red axis point in an angle of minus 60 degrees. Create another layer and turn off this one. So we can make another revolution on the same axis. But with 60 positive degrees. This tells us that there are two halves that sum 120 degrees, which is a third of a circle. We light this layer and move on to a back view. With the Union tool, let's join the revolutions. Hey, do not forget the intro at the end. Select and make a polar matrix. And see that that doesn't work. I did that on purpose. This is because we must first change the personal coordinate system SCP. Click on the View tab and choose View. Now let's generate the matrix. But as noted, it's not compact. Click on it to select it and change its value to 10. In realistic view, we can see the results as expected. Again, do another layer. Move on to it and turn the previous one off. In isometric view, ungroup and select the objects to apply revolution on them. New layer. Move on to it and turn off the previous. Here is also a fault because the axis of revolution is marked in red. The revolution angle is also minus 60 degrees. Here we did not have to group to select and make a revolution. Now at 60 degrees positive angle. We move to top view, then back. To work better, let's select parallel and double click your mouse scroll wheel to center and align the X and Y with the screen clicking on Vista. With the union, join the two revolutionized halves. Let's generate a polar matrix and compact it, changing its value to 10. Move to isometric view and make a new layer. Hide it. Select the latter and make a complete revolution, or 360 degrees. Okay, we shine our layers. Activate all of these using the Render tab. Click here to choose a material. In Layer Link, we can associate the material or materials to the layers you want. This saves us a lot of work. In realistic view, we can see the results. Hide the axes and guides. And render it. Do you like it? Now, homework. Make a family-size Coca-Cola bottle. As always, I edit these images using Photoshop. I hope this tutorial has met your expectations, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.